to the IELTS speaking test. Now let's start with part two. Your topic would be describe a town or a city you want to live in the future. You should say where it is, how do you know it, what it is famous for, and why you like to live there.
So there are a variety of great places for people to put dollars in the future. But the first one that comes to my mind is Sabah. Sabah is a mountainous town situated in Loka province, the northwestern region of Vietnam. It was about 2 years ago when I was still a ninth grader. If my memory serves me right, I heard about it from my friends and then searched for it on the internet. And the primary reason why I want to live in Sabah is because living in a tropical country with the weather that is scorching all year round, I always have a craving for traveling to or even living in a temperate place. And Sabah, located on a hill, remains mine during summers and cool during winters, which makes it one of the ideal places to settle in Vietnam. And from all the online videos and images, I can see many restaurants and hotels that can help me imagine how bustling and vibrant life is in this town. I also want to experience the nightlife in the town and immerse myself in the local fresh atmosphere as well as stunning landscapes. Another thing that is well known in Sabah is the local culture. Enjoying local dishes as well as trying local costumes. And what I love about these activities is that the price is very affordable, which means I can gain authentic experiences within budget. So for me, I would highly recommend Sabah to anyone who wants to find a tranquil place to live in.
Now let's turn to part two, part three. How cities have changed in recent years.
Well, as far as I can see, the cities have undergone tremendous changes as they have turned from small towns into large, bustling cities. So it means that the general quality of the city's infrastructure has improved, so it's way more beautiful now. For instance, many ancient buildings have been restored and high-rise buildings have been erected. Also, a lot of facilities have been made available for people to upgrade their living standards. However, the fast growth of cities also engenders human concerns related to overcrowding, pollution, filth, and slums.
What are the challenges created by ever-growing cities?
Ever-growing cities are coping with a number of challenges, and I think the most striking one may be traffic jams. For instance, traffic congestion in Vietnam has become a significant issue in recent years due to the country's rapid economic development and population growth. In big cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, traffic jams are common during peak hours, causing long commute times and frustration for drivers, as well as giving rise to air pollution and increased road accidents. Another challenge is the lack of employment opportunities. Even some graduates from prestigious universities can still face the problem of hardly finding a job, and this may result in desperate living conditions as they cannot earn adequate money for the demands of their lives.
What noise do we have in cities?
While there are a lot of sources of noise that can contribute to high levels of noise pollution in cities, which can have adverse effects on people's well-being and quality of life. One example is traffic noise from cars, trucks, buses, and trains. To illustrate, in my city, I live near a busy street and I can hear the constant honking of cars, the rumbling of trucks, and the screeching of brakes. This noise can be especially loud at peak hours when there are a lot of vehicles on the road. It can be challenging to focus on studying or working and even to get a good night's sleep. Another kind of noise I can think of is the sound from construction sites, like from the diggers and bulldozers.
Why do many people move to the city?
Um, as I mentioned previously, career chances are the uppermost reason. So it is understandable that big city easily offer greater employment possibilities than the countryside. And because of this, thousands of people, especially the young, migrate to big city seeking better job opportunities. Secondly, when living in big cities, people can enjoy a wider range of fascinating entertainment and recreational activities. To illustrate, some amenities like movie theaters and shopping malls are easily found in big cities, while there might be just one or two in the small cities. So this is why people usually consider life in big cities better and more colorful. Another key factors are the availability and quality of education and healthcare services. Although I think these factors mentioned above are the driving force for people to go to big cities to live in and work.
That is the end of the IELTS speaking test.
So welcome to the IELTS speaking test. And now we will begin with part 2. Your topic is describe a town or city you want to live in the future. You should say, where is it? How do you know it? What is it famous for? And why you would like to live there?
Well, speaking of a city that I would love to live in the future, the first one that comes to my mind is definitely the capital of Vietnam, Hanoi, which is situated in northern Vietnam on the western bank of Red River. Since my hometown is Ha Tây, which is the rural area belonging to Hanoi, I have visited Hanoi numerous times with the aim of gathering with my relatives. Through every single trip to the city, Hanoi gives me an impression of a populous and bustling city with several skyscrapers. It's renowned for its rich history, centuries-old architecture, but vibrant street food culture, and traditional pagodas. The city also boasts attractions such as Pumpkin Lake, the Old Quarter, and the Temple of Literature. Aside from that, Hanoi is also known for its lively markets, including the Dongsan Market and the Weekend Night Market in the Old Quarter. Additionally, the city's blend of French colonial architecture and Asian influence adds to its unique charm and appeal. There's a few reasons why I consider Hanoi as my dream city. First of all, most of my relatives reside in the center of Hanoi, and my hometown is located there as well. Therefore, I would be it would be pretty convenient for me to visit them whenever I want. On top of that, Hanoi has not only better educational and economic opportunities, but also a higher standard of living compared to other cities. To conclude, from my perspective, Hanoi is such a beautiful and worth living city, and it would be my top priority of place where I would prefer to live in the near future.
So let's move to part 3. Why have cities increased in size in recent years?
Well, cities have increased in size in recent years due to various factors. One main reason is urbanization. As people migrate from rural areas to cities in search for better economic opportunities and a higher standard of living. Aside from that, as the global population continues to increase, cities are faced with the challenge of accommodating a growing number of residents. This often leads to overcrowding, traffic congestion, and a strain on infrastructure and services.
Um, in what ways do you think cities of the future will be different to cities today?
Well, from my perspective, I envision that city of the future would be a far cry from city nowadays. Cities of the future are expected to be more sustainable, environment friendly, and livable. They may prioritize pedestrians and public transportation over cars, leading to reduced um, reliance on personal vehicles. Additionally, future cities could embrace autonomous self-driving vehicles and rely more on vehicle sharing services, ultimately reducing the number of cars on the road. This shift towards a sustainable and resilient urban living reflects a growing awareness of the need for environmental preservation and improved quality of life.
Where do people like to live in your country?
Well, even though this is just a matter of preference, I believe that the decision depends on people's ages. Most young adults are likely to reside in major cities because they want to have more options in terms of employment and entertainment. Meanwhile, when it comes to elder people, it is reasonable that they are generally want to live in more tranquil places like the suburbs, or the countryside because they usually prefer to stay near nature.
And so the last question, what are the advantages of living close to the workplace?
Hmm. Living close to your workplace offers several benefits. To start with, it can contribute to better health by allowing you to easily walk or ride a bicycle to work, giving you a more physical activity. This can reduce stress and contribute to a healthier lifestyle. On top of that, by living near your office, you can save time on commuting, reduce transportation costs, and minimize your carbon footprint. Furthermore, it also allows for a better work-life balance and can help in reducing the overall stress of commuting.
So that is the end of the IELTS speaking test.